Leo, this is your astrological forecast for November 2016. Thank you so much for joining me. Before we get started, I just wanted to remind you guys that this is a forecast that's very general for anyone born under the sun, moon, or rising sign in the sign of Leo. And don't forget that you guys are more than one sign. I know you're all about Team Leo. You're the best. You guys rule. But guess what, guys? You are not just a Leo, okay? You have a moon sign, you have a rising sign, there's other planets and other signs that make up you as a unique individual. If you're curious about all that stuff, there's a link below that I posted to where you can go and pull up your birth chart. If you have your time of birth, then you can figure out your rising sign, which may not be Leo. If you don't have your time of birth, you can still see, the moon and all the other planets that are very significant for you. And don't forget, if you know your moon and rising sign, to watch those videos every single month as well for those signs, because they're super important, just as important as the sun. And if you would like a personal reading with me, you can go to indigomoonastrology.com. That's my website, and I'll be so happy to schedule one with you. All right, so on to your November forecast. All right, Leo, so this month I'm trying something new. I got this cool board, and it has all of the planets and the houses, and it's a circular chart just like your birth chart. And I can show you physically where all the planets are traveling and how they're affecting you as a Leo this month. So it is transparent. It can be a little difficult to see, so my apologies. I'm still working with it. But yeah, let's go check it out and see what's going on for you guys this month. All right, Leo, so we're going to talk about the planetary transits for you guys this month. And this is my new board that I got. It's a little transparent, so it may be kind of hard to see some things. Eventually, I'll learn how to set this up so maybe it's easier to see. But let's see what's going on for you guys energetically this month. So first of all, let's talk about the sun right here, which is your ruling planet. So you already know the sun's effects. It shines a light wherever it's at and puts more of a highlight and emphasis on that area. So for the most part, the sun is in Scorpio this month. And for you guys, that is your fourth house of home and family. It's the bottom of your chart. So, there could have been more of an emphasis on your family life, maybe some big changes within family, maybe moving, selling, buying a home, or maybe just being a little bit more introverted. You guys are pretty extroverted as an energy and wanting to be seen and in the spotlight a lot. But see, your spotlight, the sun, is down here at the bottom. It's beneath the horizon, so it might just want to chill out for a little bit, not really worried about being seen, and just kind of veg out at home and just chill with family, enjoy some good food, some movies, just really, really spending time out of the spotlight pretty much. But yeah, definitely some changes within the family life could have happened, especially because there was a new moon here in Scorpio on the 30th of October that initiated an energy that's going to be carried out through the month of November for you guys. So, home and family, big emphasis, big spotlight on that for you guys, the first part of the month. Now, let's talk about Mars. Mars is the planet of action and drive, initiative, and aggression sometimes. And he is moving into Aquarius on the 9th of November. And this for you guys is your 7th house of relationships, your opposite sign. That means other people. So a few things with Mars moving into your 7th house. So you could be putting more action and emphasis on getting into a relationship. You can be doing active things with your partner if you're already in a relationship. This can also mean, maybe other people may see you as coming off as aggressive a little bit more this month. So just be mindful of that after the 9th. But yeah, doing some active stuff, really getting out there with other people. It doesn't have to be like a relationship, like a love relationship. It can just mean just amongst groups of people, you're getting out there and doing some active things. Maybe working out more, and maybe not wanting to work out alone and work out with a partner or with a couple of people. On a negative note, Mars in the 7th house, if you're already in a relationship, sometimes Mars in the 7th can cause conflicts with your relationship partner and arguments. So I would just be very, very mindful of that and careful with that. If you don't want that to happen, you may come off as a little bit more aggressive, towards your partner. or maybe they just might start picking fights with you and picking at you. This energy can make you start picking at little things, within a relationship. So just be very careful with that. But if you want some more action in your relationship, like it was stagnant for a little while, Mars in the 7th house can really help you to bring a spark and a drive back into your relationship towards intimacy, or towards, really just doing things with another person. So that's Mars in the 7th. It comes in here on the 9th in Aquarius for you guys. Now we're going to talk about Mercury. Mercury is a planet of communication and the mind and the skills of the hands. It's your logical thinking. And Mercury, it is in Sagittarius, which is your 5th house. Okay, so Mercury is here, moves into here on the 12th. Okay, so Mercury and Sag in the 5th house. The 5th house is the Leo house, because on the regular zodiac wheel, when it goes in order, it starts with Aries and then Leo is 5th. Okay, but yours starts with Leo first. Sagittarius is 5th from you guys. So this is still Sagittarius, but it's a Leo-like energy. I hope that made sense to some of you guys. So Mercury in the 5th. Mercury and Sag. Sag is a fellow fire sign. Sag is very blunt. Okay, Sag speaks the truth. It doesn't care who doesn't like it. It just blah, speaks out the truth, right? And Mercury here, this is how your communication can be with people. So I would say, with Mercury being here and Mars being here, be very careful not to bring conflict to yourself this month with other people, because this is super like fiery charged energy. Now, Mercury in the 5th, it can make you have a more bigger focus on 5th house matters, which means your children. Okay, so you may have to put an emphasis on them there, and talk with your children more about things, or maybe be a little bit more mentally active in some sort of way. Maybe organizing things that have to do with your children. Maybe they're into some sort of sports or activities, and you have to get a little bit more involved and manage those things a little bit more. Mercury in the 5th can also have you thinking about having kids if you don't have any already, or thinking about things in terms of your business and trying to manage and organize those things, especially because Mercury comes into a close conjunction with the planet Saturn, which is hanging out in your 5th house on the 23rd. So Mercury and Saturn together. Saturn's already been hanging out here since a year ago, since 2015 in the fall. And Saturn brings a seriousness to wherever he travels, and he travels very slowly. So he's going to be here for about another year and a half. But it also brings mastery to wherever he travels. So you could have had a lot of serious lessons to learn about children, raising children, or maybe even building something that is creative, which the 5th house rules, as far as like a business. Saturn is the energy of the businessman, the corporate CEO type of person. So you can have, because Leo, you guys are already very creative. You could have, Saturn having you work hard towards a creative endeavor and really creating a serious business out of it. So when Mercury, which is your communication and your thoughts, comes in contact with Saturn here, he's like, hey, Saturn, what do we got to do to organize things and make this business work more efficiently? What do we have to do here to get this business actually going and off the ground and not just an idea? You can be working on some creative skills in some sort of way and working very hard. This can even mean for example, like you're a dancer or some sort of artist, right? Even though it's something fun and creative, Saturn in the 5th house can make you really have to put a lot of extra time, extra effort, and take things slowly, take a lot of classes in order to really master it. And Mercury comes here, it helps you bring those things a little bit more into fruition. Okay, so this can be happening for you even more strongly around the 23rd. Now, on the 26th, Mercury is making a trine, which is a positive aspect to Uranus and Aries up here in your 9th house. The 9th house is higher education. It's also travel and learning about the world, like having a mind that sees the world on like a broad scale rather than just, more introverted and seeing things on a lower scale in your own little town or city or your own little world. No, you see the whole entire world. So with Mercury, which is your thoughts, making this aspect to Uranus, which is like flashes of insight and ideas and creative geniusness, I would say use this to your advantage, especially if you have your own business, Leo, because you can have some really super uber creative ideas come up for you at this time. And you may feel like so optimistic about them that you just go for them, right? Because that is what the energy of the ninth house is. Uranus is an energy of things being very sudden. So you can have these sudden flashes of insights, sudden genius ideas, sudden creativity. It's an out of the box energy is Uranus, very out of the box, out of the norm. It's like creative geniusness is what this equals to me. So you could be really working hard on that stuff, and Uranus will help you to really come up with some like super innovative things that have to do with your own business. So now let's talk about Venus. Venus is a planet of enjoyment and love and relationship and the pleasures of the five senses in life. And Venus is going to be in Sagittarius until the 12th. But on the 12th, Venus moves into Capricorn, which is your sixth house of health. So with Venus moving into your sixth house of health, this is really good for you guys, because if you have any health issues, which a lot of Leos could have had some health issues come to surface because Pluto, the planet of bringing things from beneath the surface above the surface to be seen, has been hanging out in Capricorn since 2009. Some of my Leos, you can have some health issues be brought to your attention ever since, 2009. And Venus here, she's traveling here for a short time, only for about a month. She can help to soften things as far as your health. Also, if you have been put in a position of power, which Pluto rules, in the workplace, which is what the sixth house is, Venus can bring about some positive energy in the workplace for you to soften things up. Venus rules feminine energy. So maybe a new female or feminine energy, or Venus ruled, which means the sign of Taurus or Libra, co-worker can step into the work arena, like you guys are going to fight the work realm, let's say that, okay? So you can have a new positive or feminine energy come into your work environment. Now, when it comes to your health, also Venus rules the appearance. The appearance that you want to keep up with, like your beauty, or, so a new beauty regimen, you can be introduced to that. A new beauty product, a new beauty routine that you want to have for yourself to keep up with your looks. And that means for men too, okay? So Venus here moving into the sixth house, this can also make you motivated to work out a little more and towards transformation, especially because Venus will come into contact with Pluto, and this happens around the 25th. So Venus and Pluto together, Pluto is all about transformation, as I spoke about. So transforming your health and transforming your appearance can definitely happen with Venus and Pluto in the sixth. So this is around the 25th that happens. But Venus will be hanging out in your sixth house in Capricorn from the 12th on through the rest of the month. So the sun is going to move from Scorpio in your fourth house to Sagittarius in your fifth house on the 21st. So he's going to move into here, same place Mercury and Saturn are hanging out. He's going to be like, hey guys, what's up? I'm here to shine a light and to show you guys a little bit more of what needs to be done here in this house. Okay, so that is fifth house matters: children, business, creative projects, romance. So the sun is just going to highlight things a little more and, like I said, shed a light in this area and bring even more of a focus here from the 21st on. Now let's talk about the lunar events. The moon, where the moon is significantly going to be highlighting things for you in life this month. So let's start out with the full moon. That means we got to move the sun back one, because the full moon happens when the sun and moon are in opposite signs. That means the full moon is in Taurus, so the sun is here in Scorpio down here at the bottom of your chart in your fourth house of home and family, and the moon is up here in Taurus in your 10th house of career and your social status and how you're seen out in the world. Now, the 10th house, you see, this is like the 12 o'clock mark on a clock, right? And in a lot of places in the world, 12 o'clock is when the sun is right there up at the top of the sky and everybody sees it. That's why this house, the 10th house of career, rules how everybody sees you, your social status and your career, because a lot of people's social status depends upon what kind of career that they have. So we have the moon here. and the sun here at the bottom, which is home and family, the opposite. So there's something that's going to come to a final decision or a breaking point when it comes to home and family versus career. Okay. Now, a lot of you guys, like I said, because Pluto is here in your sixth house, you could be working very, very hard right now in life, in your work environment. And then, the sun down here, it makes you want to be introverted and focus on your family. But the moon is like, hey, we have a career to worry about. So this can bring something to light for both areas of life. And like I said, bring things to a head. So maybe some of my Leo people, you might gain a new position in career. Maybe you might begin something within career that really, really boosts your public persona, let's say. Especially because we've got the fifth house of the business. Like if you own your own business, it's highlighted down here. You're working very, very hard towards that. So maybe that earned you some sort of recognition, which the 10th house rules when the full moon comes around. It can be that you've been working so hard that your family is like, what about us? This is your family life. What about us? Okay. And you're like, oh, but I have career. So there's like a push and pull energy here with work and career and home and family life. So that's going to be a great focus for you on the full moon. But there will definitely be a final decision made. I could see, like I said, some of you Leos really having a great breakthrough happen when it comes to career. So that could be a positive thing for you with this full moon in Taurus on the 14th. So now on the 29th, we have a new moon in the sign of Sagittarius, and that is in your fifth house. So that is when the sun and moon come together in the same sign and the same degree. And for you guys, the same house, aka same area of life. So for you guys, that is the fifth house. And so there's a new beginning here. Saturn and Mercury are already hanging out here. They've been talking, the sun's already been here. Then the moon comes here and it brings a new beginning here. Okay, so that means you guys can maybe start a new beginning with starting up your business. You've been talking about it. You've been seeing the ideas and stuff. Now it's time to begin. Okay, or maybe some of my Leos, you've been talking about having children. Maybe Saturn here in the fifth has been maybe brought you a child into your life. Maybe has you trying to have a child, but maybe brings some limitations or, a lot of responsibility. And now with this new moon here, maybe the birth of a child could happen, or, conceiving a child can also happen, or maybe just a new breakthrough, new beginning when it comes to your own children and your relationship with them. Maybe you feel like you've had to be a little bit tougher on them with Saturn hanging out here, and then now there's a new beginning here that can kind of see the light a little bit more of how to have a better relationship with your children, how to discipline them better, or how to just have your lives be a lot more happier together as a family. The fourth house is more family, and there was a new moon there the beginning of the month. But this can bring, new beginning with your children in some sort of way. So children, business, or even a new creative project. Maybe you've been working so hard on creative stuff. It doesn't even have to be to make a business out of it. Or maybe it's something that's already part of a business. But yeah, a new beginning can happen with the creative project. Maybe you finish it. Maybe you start one. Maybe you've been talking about it and you finally start one. So that is the new moon that happens for you guys on the 29th. All right, Leo, so that was your November forecast. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful for you in some sort of way. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see your monthly forecast every month by myself. And if you would like a more personal reading instead of just a generalized one, so I can look at your unique chart, then schedule a reading with me. Go to indigomoon.astrology.com. I made it simple for you. I put a link below and also a link that you can click on the little I button and you can find it up there, wherever it is. And we can get a reading going for you. All right. So take care of yourselves. I'll see you guys in December, the last month of the year. Peace.